This dog so desperately wants to sit in my lap. From right here where the zipper ends down. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is Jen Restyle and Fashion. And this week we are doing another upcycle. I'm starting this upcycle on Earth Day. I've got a little late start because I was participating in a fashion beauty exhibition this week and coming off the heels of the fashion show. It's just been a lot, y'all. It's been a lot. So I saw something similar on Pinterest. I'll try to see if I can find the picture. I had it in my memory, but I couldn't find the picture, and I just remember when I saw it, it gave me this idea of a really cool jacket, and I was like, how can I figure that out? So we've got 3 pairs of jeans. They're all kind of like washed out. Okay, so one of the pair of jeans, I've already cut the inseam. So I already just cut the inseam because I needed to use that flat fell seam for something else. And so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut here where the zipper is because I want this to, like, I want the collar to be the waistband. So let's see. I'm gonna go in here and use my seam ripper. I should come in.
Okay, while I'm showing you how I seam rip this zipper just on one side, because we want to keep the other part attached. This project works better when the jeans are oversized. So my jeans had to be like 3 or 4 sizes too big. In order for them to wrap around your shoulders, you're going to need a big pair of jeans, especially if you're a bigger person. So just to keep in mind, I am a size 6 regular, and so I went up about 3 sizes on the jeans.
Okay, that was pretty easy. It came loose without a problem. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. And so this is going to be, basically the collar is going to be the band here. And we are going to make this leg is going to be a sleeve. And I think I'm going to keep the fullness in the sleeve. Okay. And we'll just cut it off wherever it needs to be. So, I mean, honestly, this kind of looks cute like this. We could make the sleeve and we could just have like a little bolero, but I want it to be a little longer. So I'm gonna use, I think we're gonna use these. You know, I almost didn't want to cut these Lee jeans, but I find Lee jeans all the time. All right, so we're gonna do one, stepped on a dog. We're gonna do one side jeans over here. So I am going to button this here. I think I'm just gonna cut it. I was gonna seam rip it, but I'm not gonna do that. I think this is a good length. So, and what I have to do now is I have to cut this in half. I'm just gonna cut on this side of the loop straight down. So that's the next step is to cut this and do the same thing that we did here.
In my opinion, it's best to cut the back and seam rip the front portion. Even though it's a lot of work getting in there and getting those smaller stitches loose, it's definitely worth it in the end.
All right, we have 2 legs here. So we're gonna take this one and I'm gonna button it here. Okay. So far, I'm liking the way that looks. All right, and then we're gonna take the other and we're gonna button it over here. Okay. So it almost looks like we opened up the one pair of jeans and come to the center here. Like we open up the one pair of jeans because it goes all the way down. Now, the next thing I think I want to do is cut down my flat fell seam.
Now you do have the option of shortening the sleeves. You don't have to have them bunched up like I do. I end up pleating them and all of that. You can definitely cut the sleeves and just make them shorter.
So now we have it like that. Okay? And I don't want this to be something that, I'm not looking to close it across the front. At least that's not what I'm feeling right now. I think I really like the length of this. I think we're just going to bring this around to the back. Look at the back, how that's looking. So I'm really starting to like the way this is coming together. I like flowy, drapey pieces. Let me grab some pins. So I'm going to start pinning this to see what it's going to look like. Let's come a little closer so you all can see. Okay, so let's look at what's going to happen with this sleeve. This is still right in where the crotch area was. And it hasn't really changed much from here. But as I'm doing this, I'm getting an idea. Again, you guys are watching this in real time. So I think I like to have the fullness in the sleeve. I think I want like kind of a bunchiness like this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pin this here.
If you find yourself needing more room under the arm, you can always use some scrap fabric and attach it in the underarm area to give you more room.
All right, so I like that look. And you all see that? Kind of not very structured, but a little curvature there. I'm really feeling that. Okay, I'm gonna come around to the back and just see where I end up, because even though this comes around this way, it doesn't actually meet up right at the back.
When I ended up trying on the jacket, it was a perfect fit because I wanted the front to kind of sit open. I did add a belt at the end and you'll see that, but you could also add ties, or some kind of cording as well.
Yeah, I love this length. Can you guys see that? Let me bring the camera down a little bit so you can see. Yeah, I like that. I think this is a perfect little spring jacket. Let's turn around in the back so you guys can see what that looks like. So right now I have you know, this opening here, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna pull that fabric up on that side. I think I'm really feeling this little action happening here. Like, what if I sewed these two pieces together and just let it flow like that and stitched it so that it meets up perfectly with that middle flat fell seam. Look at it from the side. You know, and then, I mean, if I wanted to, I could cut it, but I don't really have to. We do this side like we did that side. These match up even on both sides. I create the sleeve, and I'll make this a little more uniform. So I'll do an actual like fold and pleat and fold and pleat. Or I could gather it, and when I sew this together, it wouldn't even be open up underneath. And I'll show it to you when I get to the sewing machine. But I think that might be my jacket, you guys. I really do. Okay, so I just pinned that on the outside. Let's try this on and hope I don't get stuck. And put one arm in. All right, so I want to start with the sleeve first. So while I was off camera, I did finish pinning the leg or the sleeve, and I mashed up the bottom, and I just started kind of pleating it because this fabric is really thick, and I don't want to end up breaking a needle. I'm gonna sew in a different direction from the top down, and I'm gonna put my seam on the outside because I really want you all to see. Normally when I show you guys me sewing, I do this the other way, but because of the way the camera's situated, I'm just gonna try this method and see if that makes it any better.
Again, this is another area on the sleeve where you can make adjustments. I just happen to like this method of pleating and giving the sleeve kind of a curve, but and that's just because it was more comfortable. I didn't try it straight and folding it up, but you can definitely try it that way and see if that works for you.
All right, so for here, we are going to, this is the back where I showed you. I got half of mine to leave it open, but I'm not. Maybe I'll just leave a little bit of it open here. And maybe I'll just start stitching right there. I'm gonna leave about a foot at the bottom. So about 12 inches at the bottom. And I'm just gonna go ahead, pin this together, and I'm gonna start sewing. And I'm sewing at about a 3 on my Juki. So this is kind of like a medium length strip, medium length stitch, okay? You can see, so I'm right in the middle of the seam. All right, so I'm just sewing right down the middle. We're coming up. Coming up. And I'll probably have to go back and finish or get it as close as I can once I get the other parts done. So we're coming right up Oh, I got a little off back there, but I don't mind. We're coming right up to the rear. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, bring it back so you guys can see. So this is the rear of the jacket, and this is the back seam. And remember, we wanted to bring it right there. So I'm gonna stop like right here because I want to finish my other sleeve, and I want to make sure that this fabric back here is laying in the right place, that I've pinned everything the way it's supposed to be. This is the right side, and we overlapped this here, and I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna stitch right here. Now I thought about how could I make this maybe detachable. That's a thought, huh? Make this detachable, because I could attach that zipper there, but it would have to be a separating zipper. I wonder what this would look like if we let it just hang sometimes. Like, could I put this here, button that, and just stitch this down so that if I wanted to, I could. Let's stitch this first. So let's stitch the inseam here. So I'm still going to overlap right there, and I'm going to start stitching from right here where the zipper ends down, and I'll let the camera cool off. All right, so let's take a look so you guys can be really clear. Sit. I got a dog coming over. I want to make sure you guys know what's going on here in case you want to try this. All right, so this is the front of our jacket. Okay. Those are our sleeves. Super cute, right? Okay. So remember, I overlapped here. I went in and I stitched down just below the zipper portion. I haven't decided if I want to stitch this down or if I want to put hooks in here so that maybe we unbutton it and allow that to hang like that. I kind of like that. I'm going to see how it looks without any hooks or any securing. And then the other side, I stitched the same thing down there. That was why the camera was cooling off. All right, so this is the front of our jacket. And next, I'm going to go in and stitch down the pockets and get rid of this excess cotton fabric in there. I'm going to stitch this one down here, and then I'm going to take these pockets off and turn them around so that I can actually have pockets. That's going to take a minute. We're going to do that last. Now I did sew one sleeve under the arm. I do want to try this on and see what my comfort level is here. Like, does it feel like it's pulling or what? I can't really tell. I need to put it on my body and see how it feels. And I did sew up the back, but I left about a foot, like 12 inches at the bottom, just because I wanted to have that open. And I didn't stitch it all the way up here because, let me pull it down so you guys can see. I didn't stitch it all the way up because I just got to make sure that this is going to hit right. You know, I got to make sure that the sleeves are sewn correctly. So let's sew the pockets down.
So a couple things to keep in mind as we start to finish up the project. When you choose your pairs of jeans, make sure that they're a larger size. It's helpful to slide your arms into the legs and see how that feels before you go cutting the jeans, because they may be too tight or they may be too large. In the event that the jacket feels like it's a little too tight on you, you can always add a strip down the back. What I love about working with denim, and especially, piecing things together, it's okay for it to be patchworky in order to make it fit. You see me here sewing down all the pockets. So I sewed down the front pockets as well as the back pockets because I felt like that looked a lot better. When I put the jacket on, I didn't have that buckling. For the front pockets, after I sewed the pockets down, I went in and I clipped the cotton part of the pocket out. And also with the zipper, I ended up attaching the opposite side of the zipper to the opposite side of the pants so that I could open it up. Now, of course, it doesn't fully open up. It only opens up a portion of the way, but I actually like that. It was just something a little different, and I'll demonstrate to you at the end how it looks.
Okay, let's take a look at the back of the jacket, just so you can recognize everything. These are the pockets that sit on my back, upper back, on my shoulders, behind my shoulders. This is the seam that goes down the back, and this is the bottom part of the jacket here. This is where the sleeve meets. That's where the sleeve meets. All right, so basically up underneath the sleeve, I just sandwich those pieces together, and I got this seam here and this seam here. I started sewing up the back, the bottom part. Remember, I stopped. I didn't go all the way up because I want to see where this is going to fit. Like, I could have sewn this all together like that, and then this would have been all bunched up, totally uncomfortable. So I only sewed it part of the way, and I left all of this open, which I'm glad I did, because we now have where the seam meets here. This is the underarm seam that I just sewed together, and this is the underarm seam that I sewed together. Now, I don't want this hole in here, so I'm glad I stopped right there. I'm debating on, I think I'm just gonna keep these seams on the outside and bring this up to the center. This is the other sleeve right here. And this is where it meets up right there. I'm just gonna stick a pin in there. And then this is the back. So I think what we're gonna do is lay this flat right there. I've already pinned that part down. Lay this one flat over here, and this comes right to the middle. This meets right in the middle. Personally, I'm just a person who likes exposed seams. I just do. You all have seen me do this before. I like exposed seams. All right, so this sleeve is already sewn with the pleats in it. You all saw me do that. I sewed the pleats all the way until I had to stop, which was right there. Now, this piece lays very nicely right on top. And so I'm just going to go with my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch on top around here, and when I get there, I'm just going to do a little back stitch. Then I'm going to come over here, do a little back stitch, stitch over here. Actually, I need to sew the sleeve first because I think it's important that that sleeve seam be closed before you start tacking anything down. So this is where the sleeve was. This is where I've overlapped. I'm going to do some extra stitching in there, especially since that's underarm. and there's going to be a little more tension there. And then I'm just going to sew right along the raw edge. I still have my gold thread in there. I'm going to do a little back stitch to reinforce. Come right up there on that flat fell seam, do a little back stitch. Come forward, pivot.
All right, the last little piece is to make sure that you stitch down this space in the back. Again, you might need more room, you might require less. It just depends on your size.
There we go.
This project was super fun to me. I really enjoy kind of trying to figure out how to get this piece together so that it would look right, and I like the way it turned out. Please put your thoughts below. Let me know if you'll try this. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if you would like to see something else. All right, you guys, enjoy the little show here at the end. As you can see, I paired the jacket with white denim jeans. I thought that the white would make the denim pop, and the jury's still out on how I feel about that. I did pair it with my denim tie because I just felt like denim on denim on denim would be really cool. And then I ended up throwing on my denim blue jeans, and I kind of like that better. This belt that you see me wearing, I made this a few years ago. I think I might have done a tutorial on it. I'm not sure. But I like the clear belt because it gives the illusion of the jacket being very cinched at the waist. In truth, it is a little more narrow in the waist, but the plastic belt or vinyl belt definitely allows more of that. And so here you see I took the zippers loose, and it just allows the bottom part of the jacket to just hang. I like it, you know, I just think that it's just something a little different. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you back here next week. All right, take care. Bye.